silent reflection and get out of Dodge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Lobazinski.
Mr. Allier,
Present.
Mr. Garcia,
Here.
Mrs. Smith Gomez. Here. Mr. Kuza,
Here.
Mr. Crowe.
Here.
Record show all items accounted for.
Thank you, Mr. Lobazinski. Do I have a motion? Oh, actually, do we have any public participation?
We
today?
do not, Mr. President.
Thank you. Elliot, do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the minutes, Mr. President.
Second. Thank you, Mr. Cuba. Mr. Garcia. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes. Any correspondence, Dr. Smith?
None at this time, Mr. President.
Do you have a superintendent's report?
I do. I want to first off start tonight by thanking everyone for a fantastic school year. It was quick. They go quicker every year, it seems, but it was a great school year. Thanks to all those who contributed to our graduation ceremony. I felt like it went very, very well. It was a quick one. It was under an hour and a half, but I thought great weather and a nice night. And it was awesome to celebrate our seniors that are moving on. This year was, as I said, was fantastic. Our fine art shows were wonderful. Our academics continue to shine. I do want to mention our athletics, the year they had. In my 12 years, I can't remember having this much success. We had 4 sectional championships in our sports. It's the first time in over 20 years our girls have won a sectional championship in every season, because the girls won soccer, basketball, and softball. And of course, boys won baseball for our 4th sectional championship. We had a state wrestling champion, girl wrestling champion. We had 2 state qualifiers in track. The Kennedy Stevens broke the school record in the long jump, jumped 18.7, some crazy long jump. And Jalen was all state in cross country this year too, for 19th place. So our athletics shine, and I thought we did a very, very nice job with athletics, and we're very competitive. It's great to see. And our GPA stayed high, and our kids continue to behave and be student athletes. We always say student first. So that was the most impressive piece. And we won a regional championship in girls basketball. Forgot to mention that. So I do want to also mention, I've been working with Cindy Adams. We are going to we worked with Baker Tilly to provide a financial feasibility study. So they're working on a financial feasibility study. I'm going to ask sometime, depending on how fast they can turn it around, to do a work session to go over the results of that financial feasibility study. That will give us a really clear idea of what the next 3 years look like. We know the impact of Senate Bill 1 or the fear of what Senate Bill 1 could be. And I think to professionals, while we have a couple dollars to do it, let's run the study and let's map out what the next couple of years look like, so we have an idea of what our cuts need to look like. I mean, are they going to be drastic, like no transportation and draining pools and closing schools, or are they not going to be as harmful? I think we need to just see the whole picture laid out over the next couple of years and what this legislation is going to do to us. So more to come on that, but we'll have a work study session as soon as they get that back. Yeah, and I think that's it. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Board reports. Shelley.
Nothing to report.
Mr. Garcia.
So I was out of town for Highland Griffith Chamber. Ms. Gomez went on my behalf, so she'll report out on that. But I did want to mention that I attended the FRAC webinar on the proposed changes to SNAP in the Budget Reconciliation Bill, which is also named the Big Beautiful Bill, and how that could impact school participation in the National School Lunch Program. The big takeaway is the current language in both the House and Senate versions of the Budget Reconciliation Bill removes categorical, why am I drawing a blank on me? Categorical acceptance, there's a term I can't remember right now. Basically saying that the current rule is if a child is in SNAP, they are automatically enrolled in National School Lunch. So we don't have to do all the paperwork. I think we just have to do some spot checking on that. The current language on both the House and Senate bill versions removes categorical eligibility, meaning that all of our kids are going to have to go through an application process, and we're going to have to certify that those kids qualify for the National School Lunch Program. So I would ask administration, if I'm not mistaken, we're at around a 47% free and reduced lunch rate, which means about half of our kids, somebody's going to have to go through all that paperwork, which is going to drain resources at the admin level. So just want to share that is, the Senate's hoping to pass their bill before July 4th. So that is very much in the horizon. So if that is an area of concern, I would encourage reaching out to our state U.S. senators, which would be Young and Banks.
Thank you. Mr. Garcia. Ms. Gomez.
Yes. I attended the May 22nd, there was a NISEC audit meeting, which someone from the NISEC board has to be in attendance at that meeting. I have the report from that, if anyone would like to see it. Basically, there were a few minor discrepancies, nothing nefarious, no major missing money or anything, so I won't go through all the details with everyone, but I will make that report available if you are interested. I have two more, so I'll be quick. I attended the Highland Griffith Chamber meeting on June 10th on behalf of Mr. Garcia. We've met new members, discussed upcoming events. There's a chamber golf outing on July 10th at Wicker Park. They still need sponsors and donations. Highland and Munster, and I think we've talked about this before, are working together to build a new combined pet shelter, and they hope to break ground in the fall. There's more info on that on the Highland Police Department website. And then the speaker was Chief Albert Tharp, the Griffith Chief of Police. He just talked about how they were looking to hire new and certified police there. And the next meeting is Tuesday, July 8th at Andorra Banquet, and it is a breakfast meeting if anyone wants to attend. Then I attended the NISEC meeting on June 11th. We had a first reading of a number of Neola policies at that meeting. We discussed the compliance engagement report, which is the audit report. One thing I want to make people aware of, we talked about a little bit about the budget last time, but almost all of the NISEC aides were considered to be full-time and therefore were eligible for health insurance. That is no longer the case. So many of our aides many of our NISEC aides will have reduced hours in this coming school year, which will be an adjustment for the schedule of our teachers as well as those aides, and of course an adjustment in the budget of NISEC, the budget of the people doing these jobs as well. You know, they are now looking for health insurance elsewhere. It's something that I think the staff at NISEC has really tried to assist with, that, you know, just have some empathy for the people in those positions and the teachers who are adjusting to those schedules as well. NISEC meeting dates for the 2025-2026 school year will remain the second Wednesday of the month, with executive session at 5:30 and open meetings at 6 at the Eagle Park School. If you have any questions about any of it, let me know. Thank you.
Mr. Kuba? Nothing to report, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Kuba. From a redevelopment perspective, nothing new to report. Just want to thank you, Dr. Smith, in advance. I know our director, Maria Becerra, has requested that we provide a letter of support for a grant that the town of Highland would like to apply for with the Department of Transportation for road improvements along Kleinman, as well as townwide traffic signals and lighting. So appreciate your assistance with that in advance. From a park board perspective, Alex Brown, longstanding superintendent of the Parks Department, is retiring at the end of this week, I think. So Alex has been there for very, very, very long time. I think he's always had a pretty good relationship with us, so appreciate all that Alex has done for the school town through the years, and wish him the best of luck in his retirement. And the Parks Department did have a meeting, and we voted on accepting Tim Diamond as our new superintendent. He started this past Monday. So wish him good luck in his new role. Other than that, that is all I have. Financial. Hello, Seth.
Hello. Letter A is the treasurer report. A copy of that report was included in your board packet. I'm requesting approval of the report as presented.
Do I have a
Mr.
motion?
President, I would like to make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Mr. Gilman.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Vouchers.
A copy of the final voucher docket is also in your board packet. I recommend that it be approved as well.
Motion approved, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Kuba. Do I have support?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Gomez. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Donations.
I request your approval to accept the following donations. Middle school anonymous donor donated $1,050 for an athletic score table. High school, the Highland High School soccer parents donated $1,702 for benches and awnings. Most of these are at the high school unless I read separately. John Magoto Insurance, $500 for benches and awnings. Swan Counseling, $100 for benches and awnings. Dan Miller, $35 for baseball. People's Bank, $250 athletics. Industrial Battery, $100 and then $200 for both for boys basketball. Two separate donations. Tauber Law Offices, $250 for boys basketball.
Thanks, Pat.
Customs by Boss, $100 boys basketball. Thomas and Catherine Samples, $150 for boys basketball. And American Online Giving Foundation, $60.20 for girls wrestling. And I also request one for the central office from Kim Craigsheld and Faith Church in the amount of $425, and that is to provide food for the elementary teacher training session.
All right, can anybody give us that motion?
Motion to approve the donations as read.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Do I have
Second.
support? Thank you, Mrs. Gomez. Any discussion? Mrs. Gomez.
I know, as a surprise. I'm going to say thank you to everyone who donated to us. I mean, $1,000 anonymously is amazing, but this is $5,000-ish in donations. That's incredible. Just want to thank everyone, every business, and every individual who has donated to our high school and middle school and everywhere else. We appreciate them.
I know the soccer parents had quite the fundraiser, so it's pretty common across a lot of our extracurriculars that the parents really step up and assist in helping raise some funds in these the difficulties that we have providing through the budget needs. So appreciate all that everybody has done across all sports, but in this month in particular soccer. So, all right. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Worthless property resolution.
Miss Amelia Thurman, she is our high school director of bands, has requested that the Deegan chimes named in Exhibit A be declared as worthless property. Mrs. Kasperky, coordinator of instructional technology, has requested that the technology equipment listed in Exhibit A be declared as worthless property. Such items are outdated and have seen their completion of their useful life. The directors would like to recycle, donate, or dispose of the equipment. I recommend the attached resolution be passed by the Board of School Trustees, declaring these items as worthless property.
Do I have that motion?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the worthless property resolution.
Thank you. Support, Mr. President. Thank you, Ms. Kuva, for your support. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Food service bids for 25-26.
Our Director of Food Services, Mrs. Brittany Luster, participated in the Northwest Indiana Educational Service Corporation cooperative bid for the food service department for the 25-26 school year. She is recommending that the board award the contracts to the following vendors based on the lowest and best bids: milk to Pleasant View Dairy, bread to Alpha Baking Company, food to Gordon Food Service, menu planning to Hospital Purchasing Services, produce to Piazza, sanitation to Smart Systems and Warewashing, and smart snacks to Commercial Food Systems. The administration concurs with this recommendation.
Motion to approve, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Kuva. Do I have support?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Gomez. Any discussion? Before we vote, Dr. Smith, again, so your involvement in these cooperatives that you've really raised through your tenure here at as superintendent of the school town has been phenomenal and has created a significant amount of savings year over year, but over the lifespan, it's incredible. So I just want to thank you for kind of thinking outside the box years ago and starting us down this road. So
I appreciate that. And one other thing that we get from this service center, they help us with our library services as well, because we had our librarian at the high school, he's gone, and so we didn't have you have to have a librarian on as a teacher in your district somewhere. They cover that for us.
Oh, fantastic.
So imagine, hiring a full-time teacher librarian, it could be $80,000, $90,000 with benefits, and they help us through that. So there's other savings as well, not just food. Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Special Services, Building and Grounds.
A copy of that report was included in your board packet. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, comments, observations? Hearing none, the NISEC Alternative Services Agreements Resolution.
Yeah. You want it, Cindy, or you want me to jump in?
So I could do it.
Okay.
The administration is requesting board approval for the resolution concerning alternative services agreements with the Indiana Department of Education and private education agencies. This resolution gives NISEC the authority to secure alternative service plans involving private education agencies after consultation with the superintendent. The law requires NISEC to finalize and approve the services within 15 days of the application. Upon entering into the service contract, NISEC will forward to the superintendent the contract for board approval at the next regularly scheduled meeting.
Mr. President, motion to approve the NISEC Alternative Services Agreement Resolution.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. Thank you, Mrs. Gomez. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. On to curriculum.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So Highland Online Public Education, HOPE, is what we're calling the name of our future virtual school offering. It'll be a standalone grade 6 through 12 separate school from the school town of Highlands Middle and High School. The goal is to provide a flexible and inclusive educational environment that meets the diverse needs of students who may not thrive in the traditional in-person setting. This will include, but not be limited to, students with physical and mental conditions that limit their ability to attend in-person school, and it may also include students who are expelled from school town of Highland. This program is not, just to clarify, is not a catch-all offering that you're going to see from many surrounding school districts. It's not a virtual school offering that we think is better than an in-person offering. This is to stave off people that we're losing from the district anyway because they can't attend in person. It's also to keep a tether to those that we're expelling from our schools, because they return to our schools the year after and without sometimes any education in that interim time. So we only receive 85% for those kids that are in virtual environments, but 85% we feel is better than no percent. And we, again, strongly feel that in-person learning is where kids all belong, so we're not ready to cast that net out to say all are welcome to our virtual academy. So tonight what we're asking for is approval for this proposal so we can continue the application process with the the Department of Ed. I also have a big thanks to Ms. Brittany Della Riva, who is heading up this proposal, and she's doing a lot of the big heavy lifting with the application process, so thank you for that. So I asked for approval to continue the process, and also between Dr. Smith, Brittany, and myself, we can answer any questions you might have about this proposal.
Motion to approve, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Coover. Do I have support? Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Any discussion?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So can we clarify, just want to make sure that we have it on the record. So the students that we are accepting into this potential virtual school are kids that were either going to be expelled or for another reason that is determined by administration, I assume a medical provider, are not capable of attending in-person school.
Correct. Yes.
Also then, those students are or are not eligible for extracurriculars.
They will not be.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Including arts extracurriculars, not just sports. Correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess to further that, the application process, it will be decided upon by committee. There, you know, a family could want this, and if they don't have the proper documentation, we'll meet internally as an administrative team to decide whether or not they have the necessary documentation to be accepted in. And we're starting off with a small, the idea this year is a small bite size. I mean, I'll let you speak to it also, but it's a small bite size. On average, there's anywhere from 15 to 25 expelled students. Even if we just captured those 15 to 25 expelled students, the money we recoup from that would pay a teacher's salary. So we feel, you know, and we can iron out the kinks during this first year, should we get your approval and should we get the DOE's approval, and then potentially look at other unique circumstances. But we definitely know we have mental unwellness, kids that just cannot come into the school buildings for anxiety, depression, different types of mental illness. And then we also know we have students that may have different medical diagnoses, whether it's cancer or different things, or upcoming surgeries that keep them out of the school setting because of germs or what have you, and they have to be educated from afar. So we feel like it's a great option. The state providing a little bit more lateral flexibility when it comes to these types of things. So we're taking advantage of that, but not, again, I can't speak to it enough. I think there's some people doing an overreach and a money grab for something that really still isn't as good as in-person learning when it comes to the virtual experience for a K-12 student.
Mr. President, really quick, is it just in-house or is this out? So meaning...
Good question. Yeah, right now we're just looking at school ton of Highland students. In the future, like I said, this year we really want to, this coming up year we really want to iron out any of those kinks. And then I also, if there's anything, because you made the time to be here, which I appreciate, if there's anything you can add or want to add.
I mean, I think in everything that we've put together as a team, and then everything that I've worked on as an individual, I have built things, and we've built things with the vision of options for the future. So right now the goal is to give our students that we're losing, be it they're expelled, they go to another online provider, and the parents decide to homeschool, to keep those kids hopefully with us, so that potentially one day they return to our schools in sense. The long term, I mean, there's so many different options. You know, you asked about extracurriculars, you know, there's hybrid, there's open enrollment, there's all sorts of other options that we can look at next year, after we kind of have all of the kinks and the bumps ironed out.
One other quick question, Mr. President?
Please.
for me? So any anticipated investment in platform for delivery of education?
Go ahead.
So we're going to the same platform that is used for credit recovery at the high school and for the Pathfinder Academy at the middle school and high school. So it's all within that same platform, that same contract, I believe.
Yeah.
All of that is taken care of already.
Yeah, Subject.com is the platform that they were choosing to use. They vetted it last year at the high school with credit recovery and a small section of credit recovery in Pathfinder, and found it to be a lot more rigorous than the XIII that we have been using. So that's what we're choosing to use this coming up for this and for credit recovery in Pathfinder next year.
I found Edmentum was a little easier to use AI to cheat on some of the work. This one's a little more difficult. So that was a hurdle we looked at.
And the only other thing I'll add is that going off the averages of the last 3 years of just expelled students, we feel Ms. Della Riva is still teaching half her day as a German teacher, and then half her day will be heading up this program. We feel that the average student recovery that we would keep just based on expelled students alone will cover the cost of half her salary and plus the Subject.com purchase software. So to us, it's a net neutral and only has room to grow as far as a recovery.
Net neutral, but also provides the resources to credit recovery and Pathfinders.
Correct. Yeah. So good point.
Very good.
Yeah.
And the other piece of it is Mrs. Del Riva has agreed that she's going to do weekly check-ins with parents and students too. It's not just have at it go, because as we know from COVID when kids were at home, they weren't super motivated to get on and work. So they need that check-in, and she'll be able to, because she has a portion of her day free to do that, she'll be able to check in, have weekly conferences and meetings with parents and students to be that person pushing and making sure they're doing that and working on that. So big kudos to Mrs. Del Riva. She's put a lot of time and effort already in this short time in their summer into our handbooks. She brought up a lot of points we hadn't thought about.
Quick question. Is it rolling enrollment, and how does that work with online?
I mean, that's a good question. When it comes down and we're looking at semesters, generally speaking, that said, we know we're going to lose some kids due to misbehaviors. Mm-hmm. Some people like losing in high school. Misguided youth occasionally run into that issue. So they won't always fall in perfect semesters, but we'll work with, behind the scenes to figure out, okay, what have they accomplished so far? Is it transferable? We'll have to get clever with each unique experience or unique entry point and what credits they can keep and where they can pick up on the program.
Thank you.
But we'd like to have everybody commit to at least a semester by semester, so that we're not jumping in, jumping out, jumping in, jumping out.
Any further discussion? I've always been an advocate of brick and mortar. I think we found during COVID that it just simply, regardless of what we did and how we did it, we couldn't replace that in-person education. That's just too valuable, and especially with the teachers that we have and the resources that we can apply to it, right? Just that individual contact on a day-over-day basis is really a much-needed aspect of education. So I love the fact that the conclusion is that we're not going to try to replace that, right? But that said, kids are kids. There were issues throughout, as long as schooling has been around, right? We have kids who get in some trouble, who make bad decisions, and the result is that they are sent out for a period of time. And that is a gap that existed, right? So I love the fact that we're not dismissing completely. We're giving people options that, we're not, there's other things out there that parents can make their own decisions, but we are offering a simple solution, and we control that solution so that when we re-enter those kids back into the schooling, right, which is the ultimate goal, right, that we can control where that education was and try to ensure that we're bridging that gap as much as possible. So I absolutely love the idea. Love the acronym HOPE. It's fantastic. So I just want to thank you, Mr. Del Riva, for your attention to this, and Dr. Erlach and Dr. Smith. I think it's a great idea. So appreciate that. So if we can have a vote, please. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Good luck. Keep us updated. Professional leaves.
Professional leave requests are submitted for board review and recommended for approval.
Motion approved, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Cuba. Do I have
Second.
support? Thank you, Mrs. Gomez. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Personnel.
Yes, retirements and resignations. Reese Rzuski, retirement, PE health teacher at the high school, May 29, 2025. Mary Seliger, retirement as our day custodian at the middle school, July 25, 2025. Ronald Parrish, retirement as our maintenance groundskeeper at the corporation, July 25, 2025. Rebecca Starks, resignation as an elementary teacher at Southridge, May 29, 2025. Colleen Doroff, resignation as an elementary teacher at Warren, May 29, 2025. Brittany Della Riva, resignation as the National Honor Society sponsor. She'll be doing online school. High school, May 29, 2025. Denise Sasser, resignation as a math teacher at the middle school, May 29, 2025. Dinah Davis, resignation as the Explorer team leader at the middle school, May 29, 2025. Zach Pizer, resignation as the head baseball coach at the high school, June 10, 2025. Maria Pena, termination as an ELL aide at the middle school, June 6, 2025. I so recommend.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the retirements and resignations.
Thank you, Mrs. Gomez. Do I have support?
Second.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Garcia. Any discussion? Just like we have some tenure that's retiring, so I would just like to wish them all a long, happy, healthy retirement, and thank you for the many, many years of service. Ms. Rzuski, 42 years of teaching at Highland. Fantastic. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Appointment.
Bridget Brew, appointment as the bookkeeper at the high school, July 21st, 2025. Sarah Nagel, appointment as an elementary teacher at Merkley, August 11, 2025. Haley Rudolph, appointment as an elementary teacher at Southridge, August 11, 2025. Lucas Medzikowski, appointment as the computer technician for the corporation for the 25-26 school year. Marcia McAllister, appointment as a Title I aide at Warren for the 25-26 school year. Claire Hayes, appointment as a math teacher at the middle school, 25-26 school year. April Rindox, transfer from the middle school bookkeeper to accounts payable payroll for the corporation, June 30, 2025. Stacy Steele, transfer as an instructional aide to the librarian at Johnson for the 25-26 school year. Courtney Condis and Rebecca Fritz, appointment as All-Star Team co-sponsors at the middle school for 25-26 school year. Amanda Ortega, appointment as a math teacher at the middle school for the 25-26 school year. Stephen Moss, appointment as a math teacher at the high school for the 25-26 school year. Kayla Hesterman, appointment as Explorer team leader at the middle school for the 25-26 school year. Colin McCullough and Matt Beguyski, appointment as the 8th grade assistant football coaches at the middle school for the 25-26 school year. Graham Stickham, appointment as the boys cross country coach at the middle school for the 25-26 school year. Lisa Kelly, Dan Cochran, and Rebecca Klasik. Eric Vazan and Anna Cochran, appointment as the pre-K summer school teachers at Johnston, June 9th through the 26th and July 7th through the 25th. Monica Greener, Sarah Nelson, Kathy Poswheel, and Carissa Queer, appointment for the pre-K summer school aides at Johnson, June 9th through the 26th and July 7th through the 25th. Donna Politis, Greg Zabrecki, Rebecca Raycroft, Rebecca Starks, and April Boyd, appointment for the summer iRead remediation teachers at Johnson, June 2nd through the 13th. Janine Fleischman, Stacy Steele, Wanda Enriquez, Pat Kowalski, and Tracy Olnowski. Yeah. Thank you. Ms. Lubazinski, appointment summer iRead remediation aide at Johnson, June 2nd through the 13th. I so recommend.
Motion approved, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Cuba. Do I have support?
Second. I'll let Rick take that one.
Thank you, Mr. Allier, for your support. Any discussion? I'd like to start out with thank you for the folks that are coming back to work over the summer. I love the pre-K summer program. I think it's great for those that are enrolled to really kind of be able to just hit the ground running as they start their educational journey here at Highland. And always good to see former students coming back to teach. I know we have quite a few of them, so we're adding a couple of new names tonight, so looking forward to that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Administrative contract extensions.
Yes, Mr. President, I'm recommending that the corporation-wide administrators listed have their contracts extended one additional year. If approved, the recommended administrator contracts will be extended to June 30, 2027, and concurrently expire June 30, 2026, all but one. I am recommending. Or I so recommend, I apologize, yeah.
Have a motion.
Motion to approve administrative contract extensions as presented in the book.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. I do have support.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Kuva. All in favor, or any discussion, I'm sorry, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Audience comments? Packing them in tonight.
You can tell it's summer.
Any summer updates on reading programs?
Any library updates for us?
Do you want me to?
Sure, why
Okay.
not? Just so everybody can hear them.
I'll think of something.
For all those viral listeners that we have. Actually, I do have a question for you as well.
Okay. I'll introduce myself. Heather Castle, the branch manager of the Highland branch of the Lake County Public Library, 2841 Jewett.
Thanks.
I don't remember avenue or street. Like that always goes me off.
That's a great question.
I think it's
Yeah.
street.
Street.
I don't know. We'll go with street tonight.
Okay.
No, we'll stand corrected later.
You said.
Oh, go ahead. Fill us in on the summer
Well,
programs real quick.
it's your guys' rest time, but it's like a switch is thrown
Yeah.
and school is out, and the library has been very popular. So we've been very busy. Summer reading is in full effect, but remind you as well that it's for all ages. It's not just kids. You can sign up for summer reading as well. Because I'm signed up for summer reading as staff. So it's just how much you read, or listen to audiobooks, because audiobooks is reading. I want to make that clear. So yeah, no, we just have a lot of school-age programs going on, programs for adults, all ages, just come visit us.
Appreciate all you're doing. We've been talking the last couple of months about Senate Bill 1, and I've been getting a lot of questions about the impacts to the town, both the school town, the municipal town, and I'm reminding everybody that the libraries are impacted. Could you fill us in on how the ramifications are for you at the library?
We are unsure yet.
Okay.
And thankfully, I am not part of that team that has to figure that out. I get to just stay at my branch and run my branch for right now. But yeah, no, things are coming, but we luckily have a little bit of a rainy day fund
Okay.
set aside for my understanding, but our administration is hard at work trying to figure out how it's going to affect us.
Okay. Well, when you find a number, if you wouldn't mind sharing.
I was going to say, I haven't got a number, but I
No.
know
Yeah.
that we have no intention of closing anything, shortening hours, or anything like that.
That's great.
So our 9 locations should be fine.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Anything else?
Mr. President?
Yeah, please.
According to Google Maps, it's Jewett Avenue.
That's what it said.
Yep, you were correct. Right.
Because I feel like at one end it says Jewish Street, like on one street side it says
Yeah,
Jewish Street.
I
and
mean,
it's
according to
Jewett
Google
Avenue.
Maps, again,
If
that's
it's
all I
on
want.
Google, it's gotta be
I'm
right.
just going with that. It says Jewett Avenue, Highland Branch of Lake County, Highland, Indiana, so.
it.
We're informed now.
Thank you.
That's it. You're welcome.
Kuva, out of here. See ya.
Yep, and next school year, remind the teachers that they don't have to live in Highland to get a teacher's card.
Oh,
So teachers can come in with their school ID, and students as well. So I know we're getting students outside of Highland, they can get a student card and get full access to everything from the library as
Oh,
well.
fantastic. Thanks for sharing
You
that.
mentioned that, I just remembered that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Because I know with databases, we still have databases that the school can use.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Any further comments? All right, board Board comments, Ms.
Okay.
Allen.
I'd just like to congratulate our seniors again. We had a beautiful day for graduation. I enjoyed being there and taking part in that with all of our students. I also had the pleasure of attending the track awards this past week, and so I'd like to congratulate our track team on a great season. School's out and everybody's done, and seniors have graduated, and they still come back for the track awards, and so it's another chance for them all to get together. And it was a good day. It was a nice function, and that's about it.
Thanks. Mr. Garcia.
Thank you. So I just want to congratulate our student athletes and the athletic department. I mean, it was an exciting school year of athletics. We had a lot of things to celebrate, but I did, to Dr. Smith's point, want to just highlight that it is student athletes. I know we talk often about the President's Awards, and like our kids are great students and focus on their academics while also managing family commitments, work commitments, practice commitments, and their team. That doesn't just go to athletics, that's also on the arts and all the other extracurriculars that are available to our students for now. I do want to make sure that it's said, even though there's no one here right now for the most part, but I want to highlight also something else that Dr. Smith said in his superintendent's report on looking at what the potential cuts are, and that he used the word cuts because I think it's important that our community hears that it is unlikely that we are going to survive Senate Bill 1 without making some sort of hard decision and making a cut. Now, what those cuts may be, we don't know yet. And I applaud the administration for wanting to do our due diligence and feasibility study to figure out what challenges we are coming up against in the near future, but I don't see any way that we are not going to have to make a very difficult decision on something in the very near future. I also want to congratulate Mr. Pizer having a great baseball season, getting the baseball team up and running. Sad to see him leave us as a coach, but he did a great job setting us up. And a couple other things I want to mention. Ms. Del Riva, thank you so much for the work that you're doing on the Highland online public education program. I am excited of seeing an opportunity to keep to Dr. Erlach's word, that tether to those students. I think that is a huge win for the district of making sure that we are keeping these kids, especially those kids that maybe made some poor choices, and oftentimes those poor choices are born out of challenging circumstances in their life. So giving them that hope, I think, is huge, and I'm really excited to see where this goes and how we can help those students get to that finish line of graduation in Highland. I believe we have a Highland Athletic Golf outing coming up.
June 27th?
June 27th, a week from Friday. Is there still spots open? I don't know that we know that, but
I'm sure we could squeeze you in.
yeah, if we do have open spots, I assume we reach out to Mr. Harrington.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great. So looking forward.
Thank you and good luck to our summer school crews that are here. It is always an exciting adventure. No matter what you're teaching in the summer, it always comes with its own challenges. So I just want to say thanks to the teachers and parents, and especially the kiddos that are going to be there this summer. I know they're in great hands, and I'm excited to see what they do as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kuba. Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to ditto. Going to make it really easy. I wish Ms. Rzuski happy retirement. I mean, I was just looking at it going, I was actually in high school, and she was still began her teaching. It's going to be 40 years for my graduation, so it's pretty, I know, getting up there. But wish everyone a happy retirement, rest of your summer, enjoy, and thank you to Dr. Erlach. I'm going to make sure I don't butcher Della Riva, Ms. Della Riva. Thank you, because it's something that I think is going to benefit our students, and anything we can do, it's always great to do it, because there's a lot of challenges, and we look forward to seeing how that goes. And
reports back as you move through that, and I'm hoping we have less students that have to partake in it, right, than everyone does, but let's be realistic, right? So hopefully those numbers are low, but that it works out well for everyone. So thank you, and have a great rest of your summer.
Thank you, Mr. Scuba. Just one last congratulations to the grads. Thanks to all the teachers throughout their educational journeys here that helped get them to that moment of completion, and I wish them all the best of luck regardless of what career path they take or educational path, and as you said, always a Trojan, so wish them the best of luck as they set out on the rest of their lives. Thanks to our counselors, always a crazy time of year. We got a lot of stuff done. We got a lot of kids across the finish line, some a little bit later than we would have wanted, but we got them there. So looking forward to hear what the final graduation rate is. I'm sure it's going to be a nice number, because it always is, because everybody does a phenomenal job. And again, a little extra over to the counselors, because the state of Indiana is now changing again the requirements of what our incoming class, right, is going to be faced with. So congratulations to our state finalist, Kennedy Stevens, in 2 events, right?
She did not run her third one. She wasn't feeling well, so her hurdles.
Yeah.
She ran the 100 and the long jump.
Yeah, so she finished 6th in
The long jump.
yeah.
She was very sick that day.
Yeah.
Wasn't feeling well, so she kind of struggled in the 100, couldn't run the 3, but enough to, get a podium for
Yeah.
the long jump.
That's fantastic.
And Mr. Harrington got to put the medal around her neck.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And there's a picture, it's like proud dad putting the neck, it was awesome. Yeah.
That's great.
Mhm.
That's great. And Jalen, he had a strong showing. So
Yeah.
congratulations to Jalen, and capping off his career, Kennedy's just finished her sophomore year. So lots of high hopes abound. To your point, Mr. Garcia, Friday the 27th, golf outing. Just don't get in front of me, because actually, or to the sides of me. I think if you're behind me, you're probably safe. But congratulations to the boys baseball team on their sectional championship, the girls softball team on their sectional championship. Thanks to our teachers. They had to come back on the first day of summer vacation to train. So for all those teachers that came back for that, thanks for that. Thanks to our food services partners for continuing to feed our students throughout the summer. As Mr. Garcia knows, money's tight. People are hungry. And it's great that we are still able to do this through the summer and have folks come and eat when they feel the need to come and eat. Other than that, thanks to everybody involved in the school town for all that they do, and I wish everybody a safe and happy summer. School will be starting before we know it. With that, our next regularly scheduled board meeting is Tuesday, July 15th, 2025, in this very room. That will be preceded by an executive session starting at 5:30. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Mr. President.
Support, Mr. President.
Garcia, thank you, Mr. Kuva.
Mr. President, can I just say, I will be in touch with the board when I hear back about when the feasibility study will be done, and get your available time so we can set up a work study.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Smith. All right. With that, we will wrap the meeting.